Greetings, animal lovers. This is Daniel Kremer for Trailers from Hell, and I featured my other cat Zazel on a Trailers from Hell episode, and for a reason. So today I want to feature my other cat, Safety, because today's movie is one of the ultimate animal lover sagas from 1956, Irving Rapper's The Brave One. Uh, so this movie was the center of one of the biggest Oscar uh, kerfuffles of all time. The picture was written by the blacklisted Dalton Trumbo under the pseudonym Robert Rich, or I should say the Academy Award-winning Robert Rich. That's right, Trumbo's pseudonym or nom de plume or alter ego or what have you, he actually won an Oscar. They actually put out a search for the mythical Rich. It was a real controversy at the time. You should be relieved to hear that Trumbo eventually did get his award for his work in 1975, nearly 20 years later. I also just want to say Irving Rapper is one of classic Hollywood's most unjustly forgotten, underrated directors. This is a guy who directed Now Voyager, for Pete's sake. So, and he staged that incredible cigarette finale with Betty Davis. Yeah, I don't know how he's been so overlooked. And well, The Brave One happens to be the director's favorite of his own films. So curl up with a furry friend, like my Safety, and get those hankies ready for Irving Rapper's The Brave One, written by Dalton Trumbo. This was the first film that Irving Rapper shot in CinemaScope, and he proved an immediate master at composing and staging within the panoramic format, which was then still quite new. It was also his first film in color, and look at these shots just pop. The little boy in the movie is Michel Ray. As Rapper later recounted, this darling boy came into my office in Paris, and he sort of interviewed me. He had a Brazilian father and certainly looked the part, and he was some actor. Lawrence of Arabia marked Ray's last performance. He retired young before graduating with top honors from Harvard and marrying the Heineken heiress. And now, he's currently the vice chairman of investment banking at Citigroup. Life is funny, ain't it? I wonder if he ever thinks about those months when his best friend was a bull, Rapper once pondered to an interviewer. The film was produced by the King brothers, who had also bankrolled B-movie classics like Gun Crazy, Dillinger, and Drums in the Deep South. They distributed their films through RKO. John Goodman plays Frank King in the movie Trumbo, which starred Bryan Cranston in the title role, but they could very well merit their own biopics. On camera here is the legendary Jack Cardiff, fresh from his time in England shooting those grand Technicolor masterworks for Powell and Pressburger, including The Red Shoes, Stairway to Heaven, and Black Narcissus. Not to mention John Huston's The African Queen. No kidding, this man was a bona fide legend. It does show here, doesn't it? The combo of Rapper and Cardiff is visually immaculate. So, on the topic of Robert Rich, it happened to be the name of the King brothers' nephew who had nothing to do with the film industry. The producers, for their part, denied repeatedly that Trumbo was the actual author of the film in order to protect him. Trumbo, for his part, had been inspired to write the film after serving jail time for contempt of Congress for his HUAC testimony. Unable to work in Hollywood, he moved his family down to Mexico and witnessed something in a bullfight that moved him deeply. A boy, a real boy, who owned a bull who was a spectator favorite. What emerged was a film that hit with critics and audiences. The film is also nominated for Best Sound and Best Editing. On the latter count, the bullfight finale is a sublime feat of editing, and it's one of my favorite climactic sequences in a 50s motion picture. The Brave One got a gorgeous Blu-ray release in 2016 from a fresh neg scan, and it's a film that hits me right in my solar plexus as an animal lover.